Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Feel Good Fridays. I'm Paulie.
I'm Bags.
And today we're going to talk about a specific level of leadership that we find that's very important, and that is collaboration with your core partners. Before we get into that, as you notice, we're repping our favorite teams. It's Super Bowl weekend, and we're not in it. So
maybe next year. Is that what the Cubs say? Cub fans? You got any Cub fans out there? Maybe next year?
Yeah, usually the Browns.
Oh, sorry. Brown fans too.
So we're going to the playoffs for sure. Mark it down. Mark it down.
Don't forget that, folks.
So we'll get into Super Bowl predictions later on in the episode, but today, why are we going to talk about collaboration with your core partners?
Oh, Paulie, before we get into that, unfortunately, my friends, we were ghosted. We were supposed to have a special guest this week, and I guess we didn't. A couple of George Washingtons didn't cut the bill for him. So hopefully in the future he'll be able to join us. We just gotta have a GoFundMe page, maybe throw a few extra quarters in, and we can make this happen in the future. But
Abe's didn't cut it out.
The best thing about leadership is sometimes you got to do that pivot, right? So today we're going to pivot into collaborating with our core partners. And why is that important, Paulie? I feel like a lot of times when it comes to working with your core partners, it's really easy when it's your peer, right? Because you're on that peer level, and the higher you get up in leadership, it's more evidence you got to be on the same page, right? The toughest part of working with core departments is when the people you lead. Maybe that be other leaders, or maybe your direct people up front, your sales team, whatever it might be. And I don't know about you, Paulie, but a lot of places I've been throughout my career, there always seems to be those silos, right? They even let you know when you come into it. Robert, how are you going to do this? Because this team doesn't like this team, and this team doesn't like this team, and it all just comes down to making them into one, right? Because if you don't, how are you going to accomplish your end goal? Maybe that's servicing your customer, servicing another company, whatever it might be. If everybody's not working together, like this wild-oiled machine up here, everybody putting their hands in and it makes everything move smoothly, you're going to have a miserable time. So with that being said, Paulie, what kind of things can you do as a leader to get your team to collaborate, or even maybe one of your peers? Like, what do you do to get everyone on the same page?
One of the things that I like to do when everyone's not on the same page is anytime that one of my direct reports brings me a problem or brings me a situation or a scenario that they need help getting an answer or some guidance on, my first question I always ask them is, have you talked to your business partner? Have you talked to that group? Have you talked to this person, right? And 9 times out of 10, you're going to hear the answer no. So my response always then is, well, let's go ahead and reach out to that person, run the situation by them, run the scenario by them, collaborate together. What's the best thing for the company? What's the best thing for the customer if it's a customer related situation? And then bring it back to me and let me know what you and so collectively collaborated on. And this is the direction that we want to go. Then as a leader, you can assess their decision and provide feedback to them. You made the right decision in this case because of X, Y, and Z. Or have you thought about ABC and maybe go that direction, right? So you always want to provide feedback on their decision that they made. And by having them reach out to their business partner, it forces them kind of to build that relationship with that individual.
No, that's great stuff. I had a leader back in the day, Levi Jacobs, used to always tell us, he'd be like, listen, if I wanted escalators, I would go to the mall, right? I want problem solvers. And as a leader, a lot of times we want to come in there and provide the solution, but we got to really stop ourselves if we're in the middle of something and just sit back and then, like you said, ask that question.
Like last week, wait to act, gather all the information before making the decision.
The final decision, because a lot of times, that they don't do it, right? They want to come to you, and it's like kind of like running to mom or your daddy with an issue. But you got to build that into that collaboration, allow them to have the autonomy to make decisions, to solve problems. And if not, then they shouldn't be in a leadership position if you're, responsible for other leaders, So they have to have that ability to do that. So that's a key one. And then if they also try to work together and they can't come to a resolution, again, did both sides try to figure out, what was the final end result and what's kind of setting them apart. And sometimes you might have to jump in there to help them out. But at the end of the day, the more you can ask questions, provide that support and allow them to do it, the better off you're going to help them make decisions together. And then that way it's a well-oiled machine. So if people come to you a lot with issues, you got a lot of work to do. We've all been there. It's not fun, but you kind of sometimes have to even sit down in a room with them and like, guys, we got to work better together, right? We can't continue to do your job for you. You got to use your mind, use your ability to problem solve and work together as a team to provide the best solution for that customer and the company. If you put those two things in front of you, I think you're in good shape.
And the benefit by doing this, you're actually developing them for that next opportunity, right? You're making the right decisions, you're making the same decision that I would make, right? So I think it's very important. So look, Super Bowl Sunday.
Ooh-wee.
We have the
Give me some of that buffalo chicken dip.
We have the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Chefs. I don't know about you when you were younger. Spelling chief or chef was a little challenging, so I'm going to go with the Chefs.
Well, this weekend we're going to fly, Eagle fly. So I'm rooting for the Eagles this weekend. I think they're going to take it, and I think they're going to win big. I think they're going to go big.
Hey, guys, don't forget when the last time we made a bet. Just saying.
So, all right. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you missed any previous episodes, go ahead to our YouTube channel at Feel Good Fridays Podcast or by searching Paulie and Bags. Please hit us a like and subscribe. Show your support. And we want to hear from you. What's some of the ways that you instill collaboration within your team? Throw it in the comments. We'd love to learn and grow from you guys out there in the field. So, with that being said, as always, take care.
And before we brush our hair, next week we're going to talk about being visible as a leader. Yeah, we don't want to forget about that. So we're going to talk about why it's important to be visible, especially the higher up you go, why it's important to do that. Well, with that being said, brush your hair and go Chefs.
Go Eagles, fly, Eagles, fly.
See ya.
Thank you for tuning in to Feel Good Fridays. If you want to stay up to date with our podcast releases and upcoming material, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. I'll wait. You didn't do it yet. Go ahead. I'm still waiting. Did you do it? Definitely check us out on our TikTok for special announcements and possible giveaways. Both can be found by searching at Feel Good Fridays Podcast. Thank you, and make it a great day.